And welcome back to News Watch, folks. On the radar, we pretty much have partly cloudy skies. The rain is east and west of us, and that is the way it's going to stay until tomorrow morning. Here's our culprit for tomorrow's rain and thunderstorms. It's a low pressure that has already produced wind damage in the southeast and very heavy rain with flash flood warnings all through Alabama. The pressure is lowering significantly in the Memphis area. This low pressure is moving north and east towards the pressure falls, and you probably feel it with additional aches and pains if you have arthritis. Out ahead of it, very warm and humid, temperatures in the 70s. Behind it, we have the colder air starting to come into the northern plains where it's in the 40s and the 50s. On the water vapor imagery, this big plume of moisture out ahead of the low pressure with the heavy rain, a jet streak pushing into the area. That jet streak helps to fuel the severe weather as it moves north and east, and then we have a cold front heading south and east across the upper Mississippi Valley. Now, locally, it's pretty quiet. Temperatures are in the 60s, and tomorrow it will warm up. 2 rounds of storms, one in the morning and one in the evening. Short sleeve shirt and an umbrella will do it, so you don't need any long sleeves tomorrow. Here is the all-important severe thunderstorm risk. A bit elevated once you get west of 19, western Nicholas, western Raleigh, western Fayette, western McDowell. Now, the threats: wind and a brief tornado. The storms widely scattered between about 6 and 10 a.m. Then we break into sunshine and a broken line of storms between 5 and 10 p.m. You may be asking yourself, how will this coverage look on the radar? Well, in the morning, it'll look like this. These specks of thunderstorms. Now, if you're in any of those storms under the core, very heavy rain in a short period of time, lightning, briefly gusty winds, the potential is there for a tornado. When I say a broken line of storms in the evening, that's ahead of the cold front, meaning you'll have a line, then it'll peter out a bit, another part of the line farther south. Now, that line of storms will be responsible for bringing in the cooler and drier air late Friday and early Saturday. Now, overall, the wind field is going to be stronger than the previous system last week, so it's going to be windy between these rounds. The gusts 30 miles an hour in the Greenbrier Valley, 38 to 40 miles an hour for much of Route 19 and the southern part of I-64. Highest elevations of our eastern Fayette, eastern Raleigh, western Greenbrier Valley, western Pocahontas County, where the wind advisory is, wind gust 47 miles an hour. So we will have scattered power outages. It'll be when these storms come through that bring the most outages, though. So here's what we can expect. The pressure lowering through tomorrow afternoon, and then it will really start to rise after about 8 o'clock when that cold front comes through, and then it'll be a bit steady once we get into next week. So your 7-day forecast then: in the morning, storms; later in the day. I do think that at some point a severe thunderstorm watch will be issued, but that won't happen until tomorrow. 72 the high. We're down to 45 degrees Thursday night. Friday, we will have a couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but we're not expecting any severe weather. It'll still be breezy over the weekend, but we are not expecting any power outages. I think the number of outages total on Thursday itself across our entire 10-county region, probably closer to about 600 to 700. That's all the counties combined. So we're not expecting thousands, we're expecting hundreds. Thousands last week, hundreds this week, but still pay attention. Now, the areas that are more susceptible, if you had a microburst move through or the tornado, which is in Hico, some of those trees are bending. It won't take that much wind to topple those trees, so be particularly mindful in those spots that got particularly hit hard last week. Beautiful over the weekend, and we warm it up next week. The pollen count back on the high side with highs in the upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. We are back with more news after the break.